Hello, YouTube. Speak out. I am so sorry, you guys, for not uploading this one or recording this one in a long time. Just had been busy just trying to figure out the right build for this and the right card ratio and just try to find honestly, I do knife deck. Who doesn't in this day and age? Just to find a good template to use. Just for ratios and stuff. Not to I'm going to copy the card for card 100%. It was just more like, hey, I just need to find a good a good deck template that I can somewhat build ratios around and put my own tweaks into it. So yeah, we got Synchron. I'm not gonna for this one. I'm not gonna just say, oh, this is a junk doppel or this is the adventure version. So like right now, I think I want to say 80% or 85%. You could argue 90% of Synchron decks right now are just full Synchron. There's some builds are playing with Doppel, some builds are playing with the Adventure Engine. Yet it really right now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, back a few years ago, it was like, okay, you can theoretically separate the two from Junk Doppel and Adventure. So those were only the two primary builds, but because of Junk Armor, Junk Meister, and all the support wave from the Legendary 5D stacks, I think right now Synchron is in a different position than what it was a few years ago. So yeah, I'm not going to profile a side deck for this one because I do have a side deck build, but I really haven't toyed around with a side deck for this. Really haven't gotten around to playing this yet. So, but I've been playing pretty much a similar card for card version on Master Duel, except probably a little bit the hand trap lineup. I want to say the extra deck is pretty identical, I would say. So, except maybe the Baron, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check the Master Duel profile I have of it. So yeah, we'll get started. I believe the main deck might be 44, I think. Extra deck should be 15. I'm pretty sure this might be 44, might be less than that. I didn't get a chance to count it beforehand. I literally just got home from work, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get some videos out tonight, because I gotta go back to work tomorrow, and yeah, so we'll just get in the deck profile. Okay, starting off with the Synchron tuner portion, we do play 2 starter Synchron. Could be your starter. I do not like using this as a starter personally. I'd rather save that for like Doppel Warrior or Full Speed Warrior if I need to. So 2 starter Synchron. We just play 2 junk Synchron here. You only really need 2 because you search one out and you add one off Synchro Fellowship. So you don't need to max out on 3 anymore. Once Star Junk Synchron comes out in Magnificent Mavens, it's gonna get cut probably for that down to 1 maybe. If not, maybe just replace all 3. For the last 2 ofs, we played 2 Strap Synchron. This card is kind of a starter actually. When I do a combo video for this deck, I will show you what I'm talking about, how this card's a starter. So that's so we got those. For the 1-ofs, 1 Revolution, 1 Assault, 1 Jet. Personally, I like to summon this one off the junk speeder over the other ones, just because another junk Synchron because of his global utility. This is kind of like, okay, it's okay to open it, I would say. This, not really. You kind of want to summon this off the deck, out of the deck, honestly. Okay, and then for the new card, Junk Meister, the 1 junk armor. You don't need 2. You could play 2. 1's fine. This is a poplar essentially. And this starts at pretty much your starter. I love the modulation level and the tribute level on this. So this pretty much gives you a 1 card speeder essentially. For the non-tuner, those are probably your non-tuners. For the rest of the non-tuners, 2 Full Speed Warrior, and I do play 2 Doppel Warrior. Personally, I've been having trouble trying to find reasons to cut this card. I don't really want to cut this card because it's for some reason I just like playing this card a lot in this deck. It's just every Synchron build I played, except probably for the Adventure version, I just can't cut the Doppel Warrior. This card is just with the Scrap Synchron, it's like you can actually chain block with it with this card and it becomes a 1-card starter, which is really weird. It's really weird how it's a 1-card starter. It's pretty fucking funny though. And then for the last of the monsters, 1 Assault Synchron Warrior and 1 Starter's Trail. You can chain block this with the Speeder, actually. This card can chain block with Speeder, and then the 1 Trail, obviously. For the spells, 3 Junk Signal. This card is fucking cracked. I'm really surprised they're printing this card. I really thought this card was going to get released in... I want to say Burst Protocol, I want to say. But I got printed in Blazing Dominion. I was really like, holy crap. When this card got released, I was just like, whoa. So 3 of those, 2 Synchro Fellowship, 2 Tuning. You really need 2 with each. Like I said, I think I'm primarily if I open Doppel Warrior, I think I'm primarily searching Scrap Synchron off of this or Junk Synchron if I need to. And then it's kind of the same thing here, honestly. So I think these 2 kind of fill the same role, so that's why I'm only playing 2 of each. For the one-offs, 1 Starter's Illumination, 1 Synchro Overtake for the Scrap Warrior. For the Scrap Synchron, Scrap Warrior. I was playing Junk Warrior, but I ended up cutting it originally because there's no application for it anymore. 1 Synchro Rumble. I'm still playing the 1 Overtop. There's certain lines where this does come up, so it doesn't matter if you draw into this off the Hyper Librarian or if you search it off Crimson Dragon. You can still make use of both. Sorry about that. Where you don't need to worry about that as much. Then the last for the one-offs, 1 Foolish, 1 Rhoda. Just pretty self-explanatory. Dump 1 of the level 2s or Starter Synchron. Add Doppel or Full Speed or Sonic Warrior. All right, that's it for the Synchron engine. For the non-engine, 3 Ash, 2 Droll, 1 Talent, 1 Call By, 1 Cross Out, triple Imperm. You probably want to play Bell and Ogre in here also. Like I said, I gotta find the room, and I really haven't played this deck at all. Between winning nationals and kind of with this new Sacred Beast stuff, I really haven't had time to play this deck that much, and I've been really wanting to get to play around on this deck. It's just, hey, I just haven't had time to play around, so it's just been kind of collecting dust right now, which I hate. And then for the extra deck, use a token, Dragon Dude token, Yu-Gi-Oh! Day tokens, GB USA tokens, and just the Fuel Center. Pretty self-explanatory. Just like having extra tokens, For the extra deck, 1 Celestial Double Star Shaman. I'm just playing this because all the level 2s and the Doppel Warrior, so might make use of this. 1 Excel Synchron, pretty self-explanatory on this, level modulation. You can dump a Starter Synchron, make this level 9, target this with a Crimson Dragon, make Trishula, summon the Trishula for free, and then make Genex Decisive Armor with this and and the Dragon Duel token, the Starter's Trail token, so it's pretty cracked. 1 Scrap Warrior, pretty much like in the same, I would say, tunnel or pretty much you're tunneling into it as much as how you're doing that with Drunk Speeder in the deck. So I would say both cards kind of tunnel into each other. As far as, okay, you kind of need to bridge into this to bridge into the speeder, and vice versa, and pretty much that's pretty much. The one card I did, like I said, I did cut the drunk warrior for the Garderobe's Maiden. This card actually does come up if you synchro into this, and then you make Crystalline, and then you can, if you need to use the Soul Synchron and Crystalline while this is in the graveyard to make Genix Decisive Armor, you can banish this and summon your Crystalline back. So that's pretty cool. Pretty much the card you're going to want to resolve on this deck, Speeder. I'm sorry, I'm tired right now. Chunk Speeder, cool card, good card. You need to play this as a level 6. I was playing Brio as a substitution, Stardust Charge Warrior, because I was lending this for a friend of mine, but you still kind of want to play this more over Brio, at least, because this card's too good. I don't know why some lists are cutting this card. One Hyper Librarian. A lot of Synchron builds right now are just cutting this card because of the extra being like super tight, like hero tight almost. Personally, I don't think you should ever cut this card ever, like at all. This card gives you free advantage. Between this and the speeder. Like you're basically gonna win the duel essentially, or even win the match if you are in game 3. I don't know why builds are cutting this. I really think you need to play this because this gets into your non-engine, like your hand traps, your hand rips, or your board breakers if you need to. If you set this up first before this, and then get into this, I mean, you're gonna draw so many cards to the point where it's just like it's gonna put your opponent in a bind because in my extra deck, I ripped for 3 with the Trishula and doing the Omega Lip 2 times, the Omega Loop 2 times with the Dissipator. And then if you can resolve talents, that's 4 fucking cards out of your opponent's hand, and your opponent's starting with 2. You don't need to cut this card. I highly suggest you do not cut this card if you're playing Synchron. Like, this card is just too good. I've been playing this card for a very long time. Yes, I'm ranting about Hyper Librarian a bit here. I'm sorry about that, but like, it's one of my pet peeves when I see other Synchron lists cut the Hyper Librarian because like you're drawing so many cards. You theoretically can draw into so much engine and non-engine where it's like it could help you get back into the game if you need, if your board gets broken, or if you have more interruptions to stop your opponent if they're playing like a fairy like meta deck or some shit like that. So please do not cut this card. Please play it. Just play that because these 2 cards in tandem are just too damn good. And then the double Stardust package, obviously you need both. I like resolving this and to make the Crimson Dragon. You can actually get 2 draws with the Hyper Librarian. Once you summon this, then use level 4 Stardust Synchron and this make Crimson Dragon. You get 2 draws because this retreats as synchro summon, and then you're synchroning again in the same chain, and then Hyper Librarian is mandatory and you resolve both summons, both of the Stardust and the next synchro, and that's why you need to play Hyper Librarian. 1 Omega for a hand rip, the 1 Trishula also for hand rip. This is the OG version, same with this for the the original prints of these. With this actually, I actually am not playing Blazar, double Blazar, or even Blazar Quasar. I couldn't find the lines or even the room to play both. I really wanted to, but I was like, I just couldn't find the room. So I'll get back to that. We'll just finish the profile here, and then I'll go. I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll get back to what I was saying. One crystalline, one Gen X decisive armor. I love this card. It's a once per chain by attribute. One dissipator, and the one crimson dragon. Round off your extra deck. Okay, so as you notice, like I was saying, a little bit in between the Omega and the Trishula card it's I was showing. Originally, I'm not playing Quasar or Blazar because I cannot find the lines or trying to find the room to summon it through the lines. Your lines of play of like how you get to the combo. I felt like every time I was trying to force the line where before it was easier for me, where I know where I can actually get to it like pretty simply, it just wasn't coming up, and especially trying to find room for I wasn't trying to fit the room for the Trish actually. It was like mostly like Dissipator and Crystalline that I was having trouble finding room, and then and that's why I even had to cut like Drunk Warrior 2. It was because like I felt like I needed to play it, and it just like it wasn't like I really needed to play it, you know what I mean? I know some people are playing the, summon everything anime, Synchron list where, they summon Quasar, they summon Blazar, they summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, they summon Stardust Dragon, Shooting Star Dragon, Majestic Star Dragon, and Stardust Seyfert, pretty much just full anime mode. Personally, I never go to those builds because it's just too many bricks, and they are playing Quick Draw, Steam Synchron, Satellite Synchron, where you don't really necessarily need to play those. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for more of the competitive side of it, with the hand rips and just set up a negation board. Pretty like self-explanatory, I guess. Where I theoretically I don't think you really need to go full anime mode of summoning all the big dragons, because like a set Albaz literally can wipe your whole entire board, and what are you gonna do after that? You have no recover up. I'm just like, okay, so that's why I'm not playing that. That version. It's cool. Like I could do Master Duel, I can do that on, but in real life, no. And especially like with trying to get my train of thought here. I'm sorry, and especially like with all the new support and stuff. Like I feel like you necessarily don't. You could play Blazar, obviously. I don't think you need to play Quasar anymore at this point. But if you wanted to play Blazar, I think you would need to like work your extra deck a little bit into the into that way, if that makes sense. You got the single overtop, but even with the overtop, I just couldn't find the line like I could before. In this version where it was coming up really easy. So okay, that's enough of me talking. I really appreciate your time. I will see you in the next one. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'll do a comment video out probably in the morning for this one. I want to get the Sacred Beast one out tonight. And then I do have one other deck I'm going to profile for you guys if you guys have beginners at your local, newer players, amateur players that don't really necessarily know how to play the game correctly. If they only know how to play the game from like the manga or the anime. I do kind of like have decks in progression I'm working on to kind of. I'll talk about that when I get into that when I do that video. So comment, like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.